Most of you probably know what Artfight is by now, but just in case you don't, it's an annual art event that happens in July. Basically, you can attack people by drawing their original characters, and they can revenge you by drawing one of your characters in return. There are also 2 teams to choose from, and whichever team has the most points at the end of the month is the winner. This year, the teams were Crystals and Fossils. Originally, I was thinking that most people would choose Crystals, so I waited for a bit to see what my favorite artists were going to choose, and surprisingly a lot of them chose Fossils. So I ended up going with Crystals. In the last couple of years, I was able to do 10 attacks, so that was my goal this time as well. At the end of the video, you'll see whether I was able to reach it or not. Anyway, here's my first attack. If you're a new subscriber, you'll probably recognize this art and character. I mentioned it in a post already, but I wanted to say it again. Thank you so much for 200 plus subscribers. I hope you guys enjoy my art and other content. So, I don't really care much about winning in this event, but I do like gaining points for the fun of it and usually attack the opposite team. This is actually my 8th art fight now, and so far I've only been on the winning team once. Until now, that is. Team Crystals actually won. Honestly though, I kind of wanted to keep my losing streak going since it would have been pretty funny, but it's still cool that my team won. Another goal I have for every art fight is to create at least one lineless piece. So here it is. Technically, I do use line art, but it's just to make it easier to fill in the colors. Then I change the lines to the same color as the area I'm coloring and combine the layers. That way it gives off the illusion of being lineless. It's still a pretty different process than what I'm used to, especially the shading. I try to make everything look softer as well, including the highlights. Since I'm right-handed, I have a tendency of drawing my characters facing toward the left. It's just easier for me. But it also drives me nuts when everything I draw is facing the same direction. So I try to spice it up and make sure every other drawing I make is facing the opposite way from the last. And originally I drew this character facing toward the right, but I had flipped it while working on it and accidentally put the eye marking on the wrong side. And I only noticed when the drawing was almost finished. So I was like, ah shit, and just flipped the entire drawing so the marking would be on the correct side. I hate when stuff like that happens. This time I drew a character facing the front. I don't really do that super often, but at least I do it more often than side views. I don't know if I can even remember the last time I drew a side view. There's a lot of things I need to practice in general, like perspective or backgrounds for example. But if I tried to work on that stuff during Artfight, I most likely wouldn't be able to reach my goals. So it's probably a good thing I don't go too out of my comfort zone. I think this is my favorite attack I made from this year. I love this character's design. I'd actually been wanting to draw her for a while, but wasn't able to get around to it until now. And this time I had an excuse since I was attacked first. But yeah, overall I just really like how it turned out. I don't have much else to say about it other than that, honestly. I usually draw flat-faced furries, so snouts are another thing I don't really draw often. So I hope it doesn't look too weird. I do think this is my least favorite drawing of the bunch, but that's mostly just because it's something that I'm not used to drawing. I don't hate it or anything though. I think it turned out alright, all things considered. If there was any drama this year, I'm completely out of the loop. I personally don't seem to encounter any issues most of the time, but I'm sorry to those of you that have, and I hope Artfight was still a fun experience for you. At the end of the day, this event is supposed to be just for fun. It's about gifting people art and making them happy, or at least that's how I see it. This year I actually got an animated attack, and this was my revenge. I feel a bit bad that I couldn't do anything animated in return, but I didn't think I'd be able to finish it in time, so I just settled with the full body. I often wish I was a faster artist and could pump out tons of attacks, but 10 seems to be my limit, which is fine, everyone works at different paces, but I still hope to improve my speed with art eventually. And this is my last attack. I kind of rushed this since it was near the end of the event, so it's a bit more simple than the other drawings. I didn't do liner and instead just cleaned up the sketch to save time. It actually turned out better than I thought for something I did quickly. So that was this year's art fight. As you can see, I did actually manage to reach my goal of 10 attacks. So I'm pretty proud of myself, especially since I did start to lose motivation near the end. But I was able to push through it and grind out one last attack. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing if you like my art.